CRO-AM Connections, connecting with Croatian-Americans through conversation and events to share our culture. Today on our show, we have Janet Zidanic Craig, President of CFU St. Nicholas Lodge 6 in Rankin, PA.
Thank you all for joining us today. Dobro nam došli. Today we're having a conversation with Janet Craig, President of St. Nicholas, CFU Lodge 6 in Rankin, PA. Welcome, Janet.
Buona fala, Marty. Thank you, and welcome to the Rankin Croatian Home. I'm looking forward to our interview today, and I'd like to share what I have with Lodge 6 and my time here at the Rankin Croatian Home and things that we have been doing.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great conversation. We got a beautiful day. People can see the sun shining on my head, but we'll deal with that. But yeah, it's a great day to be here in Rankin, and thanks for giving us your time again. We know you're busy. So I'm a newer member. I think last year I joined Lodge 6. I've been trying to join for a number of years. I've been saying I've been joining. You've been sending me applications. I just haven't. My wife has been, and her family, a long-standing member of the Lodge 6 and here at the Rankin Home. But over the, I think, last decade, past 10 years, we got to know each other a little bit better because the Junior Tammies, the CFU Tamburica Festival was in Baltimore. We invited the folks from Rankin to come down. We had a little festa in our backyard.
It was wonderful.
And the whole bus came, and we had a good time there. And so
yes,
I think
nice.
from that point on, we were interacting a little bit more then. And so we had some fun this year. Well, we're going to not spoil that. We're going to get into that later on. About the Rankin Nation, the Big Six Rankin Nation that you help support, and we really appreciate, but we'll get into that. So there's three parts to our show. The first part is really talking about your family heritage, your Croatian roots, and just as far as you want to go back. Everybody has a different experience of that. And then the second part is really just want to understand present day, the history of the Lodge, Lodge 6, and your ascension into the role as president here at the Lodge. And then lastly, it's the future of, what are, you're coming off some events, some big events, and then what's the future events or future personal aspirations, whatever you want to get into there as well. So let's just dive into your Croatian heritage, your family roots.
Okay, yeah, my Croatian heritage comes from my dad's side of the family. My mother's side of the family, Ukrainian side, but my dad's the Croatian side. And my younger brother, Michael, has been able to trace back records to the early 1800s.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
And, but the ones that I knew, my grandparents, my grandfather from Ratica, Croatia, came over to the States, and his wife, my grandmother, came from Berlog.
Okay.
And they settled here in Rankin, and shortly after they both arrived, they were married, and right down here at the Rankin Croatian St. Mary's Church.
So they were both in Rankin at the time? They didn't know
Yes,
each
they
other?
were. They didn't. She came over with one of his family members, and that's how they met. And it was a short, like I said, a short time after they arrived here that they got married.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Yeah. So you spent some time. We talked about the festival in Baltimore, but the festival in Zagreb.
Yes.
So you spent some time. Any chance to get to visit family members?
We did. There was maybe 8 or 10 of us. My sisters and my children were there, and my grandchildren. So we made arrangements with cousins that live over in Ratica.
Oh, wow.
And we were able to spend one Sunday afternoon with them. It was really nice to see my son and that generation connecting with the same generation over there.
Yeah.
So we went over Sunday morning. We went to Mass at the little chapel in Ratica.
Oh, that's pretty
and
cool.
then we, of course, then you go visit the cemetery, walk up and down and see all these names that you recognize other families from the Rankin area.
Yeah.
And then, of course, breakfast and pastries at the first house, and then walk down the road and go to the second house where they're just cooking food. And
always have a
just
spread.
celebrate it all afternoon. We had a really nice visit with them. It was nice touching base. Food.
Food and rakia,
Yes,
right? You always have to have some
and
drinks.
pivo,
Right?
yes.
Pivo, yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, walking through like the cemeteries, you see some of the placards and the pictures. You get to see actually what the people look like, whether it's an actual picture or engraving. So that's always kind of pretty cool. So your brother did. You mentioned about church records previously. Was that, do you know, and if you don't, it's fine, but do you know if it was here church records or when he was, did he have a chance to visit the churches over there?
I think he's done all of that, yeah. He has dug through all sorts of records, baptismal records, wedding records, anything that had a last name Zidanic. He dug into that to see what the relationship was.
Yeah, that's awesome. He has a passion for that. Then. Yeah. A lot of families don't do that, and that's awesome that you guys are doing that. So cool. And you had a little family moment. I mean, we're hearing this over and over. The CFU Festival in Zagreb was a tremendous success.
Yes.
But there's these stories about family, moments that almost like make you teary-eyed a little bit, right?
Yeah,
So
there was 3 generations. I performed with an adult Tamburitsa group. And my son also joined an adult Tamburitsa group, my son and my daughter. And then my 2 grandsons also are performers with the Rankin Junior Tamburitsans. So for the mass performance, we were all able to be on stage at the same time. It was a good experience. Yeah,
Derek shared some pictures of the Zagreb festival. And there was the, everyone on stage, I think it's like 900 or something. Whoever was on stage, and we were trying to find people that we knew, but it was too hard. There was too many people to find people. But that must have been a really
it was
experience.
Exciting.
Yeah,
it was a very wonderful festival.
Cool. So let's go into the Lodge history a little bit. What can you share with us about Lodge 6?
Well, Lodge 6 being one of the top 10, and starting April 6, 1894, when the first CFU lodges. And we're happy to say that we are still active today. And I became president, it's over 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
I started attending the lodge meetings with my dad. On Sunday afternoon, we would come down here once a month, and Raymond Huck was president at the time. And I believe I started out as a trustee. I assume that was my position. And it was right before the convention in 2003, August of that year, and Ray was anticipating nominations and elections for our lodge coming up that November, and he told me he was going to go to the convention, but after that he wanted to retire from being president of the lodge, and asked me if I would accept a nomination to become the next president. And I guess the only answer to that question is yes.
How do you say no?
How do you say no? So, and that's how it started.
You have a passion for this. I mean, you've been 20 years in this position, but he must have saw something in you at that time to say, yeah, you're the next generation of this. So, congrats to you. In 20 years, that's a long run. Yeah. So. And you attend a lot of events. Talk a little bit about that.
We try to, and I try to encourage the other lodge members and spread it out to the Tamburitsa parents as well, to support the other organizations and the Rankin Juniors, their picnics, their concerts, and all their fundraisers that they do. And
you were talking about the support. Go back to the festival a little bit. You were helping support the Tammies with a little pocket money too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we like to let the Rankin Junior Tamburitsans know that the lodge supports them. Yeah. And so when they go to festival, we sometimes would give them a monetary gift. And 2 years ago, when the festival was in Indianapolis, several of the Rankin Juniors submitted a logo for the logo contest. Oh, wow. And Gino Luketic, his logo was selected as the first choice. So his logo was on all the t-shirts and stickers and so forth. And so what the lodge did, we made sure that all the children
Yeah.
got one of those T-shirts.
Yeah, because well, shout out to Gino there
Yeah.
for representing Lodge 6, and
Uh-huh.
that's really cool. Yeah, so I mean, you guys, you and the officers and past officers, but I know from present day, you guys do represent Lodge 6 in a lot of events. You're always out there participating or just joining in on the socialization. So hats off to you guys, and you're kind of humble about this, but I'm gonna point out that you were, if I get this right, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year you were in one of the top 10 producers, but the prior year you were tied for first. So
Yeah, a couple of years back already.
yeah, so that's the passion and dedication that we're talking about to keep the lodge going, right? Yeah.
And as far as the activities, I know we've attended many of the ski festivals, and we have, here's another one. I placed first, not me myself, but the four of us, a team for the golf tournament. We brought ringers with us, so we did, it wasn't cheating, it was just that we had two other good players, and our team did place first.
That's great, that's great. Yeah, so we'll have to
put that right next to the bowling trophy, or the basketball trophy.
That's right, we're gonna have to resurrect the golf team too in the coming years. We were talking to Matt Virginik in his interview about trying to get him on the golf team too. So
and bowling, we've done bowling. We've traveled all the way to Las Vegas and done a couple of the ones that were more local down in that St. George hosted down in Cokeburg. We went to Meadowlands and participated in that bowling tournament. And the juniors participated too. We try to encourage them to support those other sporting activities.
Yeah. You guys are always doing a great job putting yourselves out there for the lodge, right, and for the greater good of the CFU community too. And you've been flexible. We talked to a lot of the officers of other clubs, and COVID was a challenging time, and you've been flexible with trying to use some of the technologies for your meetings like Zoom and things like that. So. Hats off to you guys for finding ways to keep things going as much as possible. So yeah. Anything else you want to share about the club, or do you want to get into the Rankin Nation fun we had this year?
Yeah, let's just get into the activities.
Yeah. So we joke about this, but I do want to say a heartfelt thank you to you, because the reason for me joining was we did want to have some fun, socialization, and family life always gets in the way, right? Business, work, everything else takes over precedent. So we finally, mustered the courage to say, let's play ball. We joke with Derek, we were hoping to be in the 50-plus league, but we reached out to you first and said, hey, here's what we want to do, and you were all for it. You were like, yeah, let's do this.
So excited.
So, you were right there with us. We weren't successful in winning games. We tried, but you were in the stands helping us along with some other officers, and we brought you back a trophy.
Yes, you did. Legitimate or not, we'll take it.
But yeah, so again, truly, thank you for supporting us and being there with us as our president and cheering us on. That was some great fun we had. So yeah. Coming attractions. You came off of a collaboration on a big event. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Post Croatian Day. Yeah, we had to switch gears a little bit because of the Kennywood, whatever, wasn't working out this year.
Yeah.
So the Croatian Day Committee, the Croatian Fraternal Union, and came up with a new plan. Sometimes things have to change.
Yeah.
So we hosted it here at the Rankin Croatian Home and combined both Croatian Day and Post-Croatian Day in one event, and had the whole building going.
Nice.
3 floors of music and fun, and it turned out really well.
Nice.
So Lodge 6 wanted to support some way, so we had the late night snacks available. We had pizza and ham sandwiches, and we did have people staying till late hours, so it was a very successful event. So thank you to the CFU and the Croatian Day Committee. And the Rankin Juniors, they pulled off a wonderful event in the kitchen. I mean, the kitchen is the heart and soul of this building.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're putting out good food that makes a successful event too.
Yeah,
That
good.
and the music. Music and food is all you need for a good party.
Yeah, yeah. It's the true spirit of the festa, right? It's about collaboration, socialization,
Yeah.
and just having some fun. So yeah, congrats to that successful event. So a little bit of coming attractions. So we know you just talked about the successful Post Croatian and Croatian Day event here. So what do you have coming up?
Well, our next big event is our annual recognition of 50-year members for Lodge 6.
Okay.
And that's held usually the first weekend of December, right around St. Nicholas Day.
Yeah.
And we've started having a mass in dedication for the living and deceased members. So that's already been booked for the first Sunday of December at the St. Anselm Church.
Okay.
And the banquet is set this year for Saturday,
Yeah,
a
that's
change.
exciting.
Everybody
That's
can
exciting.
change.
Yeah.
It's always a Sunday, but this year we are having it on a Saturday, and hopefully that will work better. Who knows? I mean, you have to do something to change sometimes. And but we are going to have a bigger class this year because of what was agreed on or voted on at the last convention, to include all members that have 50 years counting back when you were in the nest.
Yeah.
So we do have a big class this year, and hoping to get a nice turnout for the banquet.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah, we've laughed about change, right, in some of our previous interviews too. But sometimes it's a good. You don't know until you try.
Yeah,
so
we're like, no,
yeah.
what? The banquet's always on a Sunday. Saturday? What? I don't know. Yeah, sure, let's try it.
Maybe we can make a really good Saturday festa.
Yeah,
about
there
it,
we
right?
go.
Yeah.
We could do 2 days, make it 3 days. Come in Friday night. We like 3-day events.
Absolutely.
Anything can
absolutely,
happen.
Absolutely. Well, Janet, I just really want to thank you for taking time out today. I do. It's a heartfelt thank you for all the hard work you do as president, to all of your officers and team of the lodge. It's not easy.
Right.
There's challenges. There's the towns that we visit have jobs leaving, socioeconomic things happening that change that make it harder for these lodgers to stay intact and viable. And hats off to all you.
Yeah, and I don't do
folks.
it alone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
it's the whole team,
It's a team.
of officers and members
Yeah.
that help.
And hopefully, the sporting events that we can make some fun out of some of
yeah.
these, even though we get beat up on.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll take the bruises, but we just really want to thank you for your time today, and it's been great fun being here at the home again with
Thank you.
So thank you. So to wrap up another episode, we just want to say thank you, point file, to all of our CRO-AM followers, and to Filthy 46 Productions for their editing and production expertise. So until next time, Živeli Hrvati, veliki poz I Bog.
Catch our next episode where we sit down for a conversation with the stewards of the Croatian Beneficial Club in Rankin, PA, to learn about the 106-year history of the club and the current events and activities that still take place there. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other podcast platforms, along with watching us on our YouTube channel or following us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks and appreciation to Janet Zidanic Craig for being our guest, Rankin Croatian Home, Filthy 46 Productions, and as always, our CRO-AM followers.
Follow.